All right, fantastic. $2.5 trillion. That's our annual healthcare burden in the United States. And that number keeps going up. 75% of all the world's drugs are taken in the US, yet we only have 5% of the world's population. So if money and drugs were the solution to all our health problems and our digestive problems, we would be the healthiest people on the planet. Yet the World Health Organization ranks the United States 47th in the world in overall health. Welcome to November's wellness webinar topic here. How to eliminate digestive issues forever and become a healthier and stronger human being. So over the next 60 minutes, I'm going to teach you the best strategies and ideas so that you can have the most energy, the best digestion, the best health, feel great, and dramatically minimize any chances of needing any unnecessary drugs and avoiding any unnecessary surgeries. And those that get the most out of these wellness webinars, hands down, are the ones who engage. Say engage. All right. And what I mean by this is that you can have two people. One person goes to the gym, does the work, and then the other person sitting on the couch and thinking about going to the gym. Type it up in the chat here. Okay, let's get some engagement going on. Who's going to get the best results, person A or person B? Type it up in the chat here. And as we go through tonight, I want to hear your nuggets. What are your takeaways? Type into the chat anytime that you hear a nugget or a takeaway, something that, hey, John, great to have you here. Something that you can take away and start implementing into your life, because information is going to be great. But if we don't implement it, it doesn't do us any good. I mean, has anybody ever gone to a seminar? I know I have, or an event, and you learned some awesome information, but for some reason you failed to implement it? Anybody? Am I the only one? I'm not going to let that happen to you. I'm going to give you a lot of great information that you can start putting into your daily routines if you're not already, to help you become a healthier, stronger human being by strengthening your immune system. That's right, Dr. T, the worker, person A, the one who engages. How you like that? I pull that. Gage, Dr. Gage, okay. All right, digestive problems. I want to share my personal story about digestion. Now, if you know my personal story, what inspired me to become a chiropractor and a doctor of cause and figure out what the root issues of people's health problems are and not just masking the symptoms, you understand that my dad had a heart attack at 42. He was under a lot of stress. I'm not going to go into that story. That's for another day. But what I will tell you is that heart disease runs in my family. So my mom, my mom's dad, so my maternal grandpa, and he's had a couple open heart surgeries. My dad has had open heart surgery. My paternal grandma, so my dad's mom, I remember she had a heart attack years ago. She since passed, but after the heart attack, she only had 50% function in her heart. So thank God she was able to live into her early 80s. But heart disease runs in my family. So I was graduating chiropractic school, and I remember getting on the scale, and I was 199. I never saw the 200, but I tell you that motivated me to want to make some changes, because I thought I could eat whatever I want, drink whatever I want, going through chiropractic school and in my life leading up to that. And I could just work it off into the gym. Well, it doesn't work that way. Six packs are developed into in the kitchen there. So I didn't realize how inflamed my body was. And so as I graduated chiropractic school and I was learning more about health and specifically nutrition and how to make my patients' subluxations hold better. And when we started talking about nutrition and optimizing digestion, the things that I'm going to share with you here tonight, I noticed that they had better clinical outcomes. They were in less pain. Their adjustments were holding better. They were able to recover faster. They had more energy. So raise your hand if you want any of those things. So just before I got married, I started to change my diet. I actually radically changed my diet, and I lost 15 pounds. Now, when I say I'm losing 15 pounds, this is about you becoming healthier. So we say 15 pounds healthier. But I'm going to share with you simple strategies that I started changing in my life to help not only my digestion work better, but help my body work better. So let's go ahead, and that's what tonight is that I've committed to lifelong learning and a commitment to each and every one of you being here tonight, or whether you're going to watch the recording, is to share some things that is going to actually improve your life and add a lot of value and save you time, money, and energy in the process. So what do digestive problems, what do these things like present with? So it could be you could have pain in your belly. It could be minor pain. It could be where you're balled up in the chair. It could be bloating, gas type feeling, distended belly. You could be fatigued, exhausted. Could be a sign of a digestive issue. You could have skin issues. So eczema, psoriasis, allergies, seasonal allergies, allergies to specific foods, sinus issues. So when you eat certain foods, they can cause more congestion, can manifest as sinus issues, bleeding, heartburn, nausea, vomiting. These are just some of the symptoms that come with digestive issues. And if you've been following what we've been teaching before, it's very simple, is these digestive issues manifest in what's called body signals. It's a signal that your body is trying to tell you. Sometimes these signals whisper at you, and sometimes they scream. Hands up if you know what I'm talking about there. But these body signals are intelligent. It's an intelligent communication to let you know that there's an underlying problem. Your body is having an issue adapting to some sort of stress. Say yes if you get that. That's what a symptom is. It's our body's way of asking for help. My question is, are you listening? So what do the symptoms really say about your health? Well, here's the illness wellness continuum, and specifically how it relates to digestion. Is in the middle is neutral, that's 0. To the right side is high level wellness, is a +10. A -10 is premature death. So the neutral point is maybe you don't have any symptoms yet, or you have not been diagnosed with any disease or illness or condition, but you're not as healthy as you could be. So you might have some signs that show up in digestion. And if the signs are there long enough, then it eventually results into symptoms. So what are some of the signs? Well, signs could be as you're not going to the bathroom as often as you were. You might have slowed bowel movements. You might notice that you're going more frequently. You might notice that your joints, specifically around like a ring on your finger, it's harder at times to take that ring off because your body's inflamed. So inflammation could be a sign. It could be skin changes. You could have rashes or dry skin. It can show up in all kinds of ways. Sinus issues. So those are some signs that lead to symptoms. It could be pain. And by the time you have a symptom, that means that the problem's been manifesting longer. And then if those problems are uncorrected, then it becomes like a disability. And some of the bigger conditions we're going to talk about, like irritable bowel, Crohn's, celiac, digestive issues like that. So really a decreased quality of life. It not only affects you physically, but it affects you emotionally and mentally. It can lead to more unhappiness. It could lead to more depressive type feelings, leave you feeling more anxious and worried. I had plenty of questions that came in, said, hey, doc, can your digestion actually influence your mood? And absolutely, 100% it can. It can start to interrupt your family life. So it can impact your ability to go out, let's say to a restaurant, to be able to go out for a walk, be able to go out, travel, because you can't go too far without needing to get to the bathroom. It's going to impact your relationship with your spouse, significant other, your kids. It can also affect your business or your profession. Is that if you're skipping and missing work, you're not able to be present, you're not able to be productive, it can be impactful then financially. So digestive issues are serious issues that become complicated, and what we're told as a society is just to mask those symptoms. But tonight I want to create more awareness and clarity about what these digestive systems mean, how to speak body, how to interpret what these signs and signals are, so you can make educated decisions of how to improve your overall health. Doctor means teacher. That's what education and growth is all about, implementation. So when I share these things with you, next time I see you, I'm going to ask you, what is the one thing that you're going to start doing and stop doing? Because unless you change your behavior or your lifestyle, your outcomes are going to continue to be the same. Now, what's important for you to understand is that there's a big difference between feeling and function. You could feel good, but there'd be a big problem. And an example of that would be tooth pain. Is tooth pain an early or a late sign of a problem? Go ahead, type it up in the chat. What do you think? Is tooth pain an early or a late sign of a problem? Okay. All right. Well, I'm seeing all kinds of answers. Yeah. Yeah, I guess early if we had some sort of trauma for sure, but typically it's late, right? Because by the time you have pain in your tooth, that's an underlying problem that's been existing for a period of time. How about heart pain, early or late sign of a problem? Too late. Absolutely. No doubt about that one. How about then cancer? Are there any early signs of cancer? I talked to oncologists, and it could take 5 to 7 years for cancer to manifest. So we can't just say feeling good is health. Health is about how you're functioning. So we're talking digestion. How well is your digestive system functioning? There's 3 parts of your nervous system. One part is sensory, that detects pain. The interesting thing about this is that it's only 10% of your nervous system. So by the time you experience pain, is that a big problem or a really big problem? It's a big problem. Then you also have nerves that go to the muscles and impact weakness, spasms, fatigue, and tightness. And then those autonomic nerves. Those autonomic nerves go to smooth muscle, cardiac muscle. They control your immune system, like sinus and allergies. They control your energy level. They control breathing. They also control your digestion. So when we have digestive issues and when we're talking about digestive health, we need to be looking neurologically of how your nervous system then impacts the overall health of your digestion. Because there's a dangerous belief out there that drugs work. I don't know, you tell me, do drugs work? When I'm always asked the question about digestion and somebody says, should I take acid reflux? Should I take, all these different types of meds? I say, well, what's your goal? Because if your goal is just to eliminate a symptom, then could we say that drugs work? Well, yeah, we could say drugs work. But if the drugs are working and they're masking the symptoms, what's happening to the underlying issue? Is it getting worse or worse. Get her done. Okay, Larry the Cable Guy. I mean, is this really insulting our intelligence? I don't know. You tell me. But yeah, what is this? Colossal corn dogs. So essentially, what the advertisement is the pharmaceutical industry is very good at this in marketing. They spend a lot of money every single month marketing to you to say, here, take this pill, potion, powder, or lotion to mask some sort of symptom. So if you want to go in and enjoy, I say enjoy a colossal corn dog or something of that nature, and you know every time you eat it, you get acid reflux, but you don't want to be in pain because that's going to take away from the satisfaction, temporary satisfaction, eating that corn dog. Here, take a pill, mask the pain, so that the underlying problem eventually is going to get worse. But here's the side effects: headache, abdominal pain, irregular heartbeat, persistent muscle spasms, seizures, diarrhea, abdominal or stomach pain or cramping, fever, blood or mucus in your stool, rash, itching and swelling, especially in the face, tongue, and throat, severe dizziness, trouble breathing. Whoa, okay. That doesn't seem like that's a smart thing to do, but that's what we're taught today, is when we have some sort of symptom, what do? We're told that take a drug. We must have a Prilosec deficiency, right? That's why we have the pain. What's interesting is it seems to be that these side effects are actually worse than the initial condition that you may have by eating that colossal corn dog. Another dangerous belief is your problems will just go away if you ignore them. Tell me this, when was the last time that you tried to ignore your way out of a problem? It doesn't go so well, does it? So we need to be honest with ourselves. We need to show ourselves compassion and love, because if we've been heading down the wrong trajectory, tonight is not about beating ourselves up, feeling guilty or shame about what we had been doing. Tonight is about creating a new possibility for a better health trajectory. Because if you think about it, wouldn't you regret looking back on this day that if you were given the opportunity to implement some of the strategies that we're talking about, but you failed to do so, and you could have done something about it? We don't want that. But I also want you to be thinking about how awesome it's going to feel, your new state of health and well-being, and knowing how your digestive system is going to improve 6 months down the road. Think about the possibilities of that: more energy, less pain, better function, better recovery. So stress impacts our digestive system. That's another question that I had. Yes, stress has a detrimental effect on your nervous system. You guys have all experienced this. When you're in a high stress, high pressure situation, what happens to your gut? But when we're talking about the 3 T's right here, thoughts, traumas, and toxins, all 3 of these stressors can impact your digestive system. Emotional stress, social, psychological, financial, and now we're getting into the holiday season. We've been dealing with this whole COVID crisis for the last 18 months. Hands up if you're stressed. Then we have toxins and the foods that we eat. I mean, the food manufacturers are not making this any easier on us. We're trying to increase the output and decrease the cost to drive up profits. So are we eating the foods that are necessary for optimal cellular health? Or are we eating a bunch of quick fix that comes ready and it's quick and easy to eat, but not necessarily is so healthy for us? What's interesting is the kids, the babies born today, they've done cultures within their stool, and they found in the baby poo, there's more plastics in the baby poo today than there is even in the adult body. So there's more and more toxins that are being leached into our body through food sources and the packaging of it. And then, of course, the traumas here. We got macrotraumas, we have microtraumas. So we need a better premise here. This is the approach: is healthy is normal, sick is abnormal, but sick's become the new norm. Your digestion health your digestive system is designed to be healthy. And your body's smart and it's intelligent. So, think about it. If you eat something bad, like some bad seafood, is it an intelligent response of the body to try to vomit it or get rid of it in all means possible? Absolutely. Your body is innately intelligent. And it's your nervous system that's the master system that controls all other systems, including your digestive system. And your spine is what protects your nervous system. And as we've all come to understand, modern life is unnaturally stressful. We're under more stress than we ever been before. And this has a real consequence on our health outcomes, including digestion. So when we're under stress, there's an adaptive physiology that occurs. And what happens is your blood pressure goes up, your heart rate goes up, you're more tense, your cholesterol goes up, and clotting factors. And you know what this is? This is a heart attack and a stroke waiting to happen. Fear and anxiety goes up, blood sugar goes up, insulin sensitivity is downregulated. There's diabetes. Your immune system response is downregulated. Is that a good thing if your immune system is weak? Well, we already knew this prior to COVID, but now more than ever, I'm meeting people that are way unhappy with their health or where they're currently at, and they want to be as strong, as healthy as possible. If it's not COVID, there's some other badass virus coming down the pipe. So that means that we have to become a badass human. We have to strengthen our body, but stress weakens it. Sex drive is downregulated. That's not good. Decreased serotonin and sleep cycles. So when our serotonin is decreased, not only is our happiness lower, but it disrupts our sleep cycles. And digestion slows and stops. This is the physiology of our body. So when somebody asks me, can digestive issues impact our mental state? 100%. Fear and anxiety is increased, worry, stress. It all has to do with your autonomic nervous system. You see, it's normal for us to have a fight or flight stress response when we encounter a bear in the woods. And that short-term fight or flight is designed to keep you alive. But the issues become is when that fight or flight stress response, because modern life's unnaturally stressful, goes 7 days, then it turns into weeks, and those weeks turn into months, months turn into years, years into decades. And we start heading down this trajectory that starts eroding our health. Your parasympathetic nervous system is responsible for rest and repair, reproduction, digestion, and immune system. So your nervous system's like a breaker box. Excuse me. Now, if you have water, this is a good time for a water break. Another question I was getting was how much water is optimal for a healthy functioning digestive system? Is it 8-ounce glasses or 64 ounces? What is it? So I want your aim to be half of your body weight in ounces. Water is so critically important for your digestive system. Not only to help flush out toxins that your body absorbs and then help rid them, but to help keep movement going through the digestive system. Plus, when you're drinking water, it helps give you a feeling where you're full and you're not trying to seek some fullness or trying to eat something with some empty calories, just a filling food that has no nutrient value, just to satisfy that hunger. So drinking lots of water has a lot of health benefits. So back to our nervous system. Our nervous system is the master system. Your nervous system is made up of your brain, brainstem, spinal cord, and all those peripheral nerves go to every muscle in your body, but they also go to every organ, tissue, cell. Goes to your stomach, goes to your liver, your gallbladder, your spleen, your pancreas, your small intestine, your large intestine, your bladder, your kidneys, all your digestive organs, your reproductive organs, your immune system organs. Everything has a nerve supply. And in order to be healthy, those communications from your brain need to go down their spine, through your spinal cord, and out to those nerves to that organ. And that organ takes that signal and sends it right back to your brain. And when that loop is closed, think the safety pin cycle, is that you can experience health. But when there's any disruption in that, it's like a circuit breaker. If there's any pressure on that nerve that goes to your stomach, what's going to happen to your stomach? Is it going to be healthy or not? What if that nerve goes to your colon? Is your colon going to be healthy or not? So modern life and the stress in life creates a condition called subluxation. Subluxation are joint misalignments that damage the soft tissues that causes an inflammatory response and irritates the nerve. It spasms the muscles right along the spine. It fixates the joint. Imbibition is lost. That's the nutrients going into the spinal disc to keep it flexible, and toxins start to accumulate within the disc, and your hormones, the stress hormones, go up. There are many causes of subluxation, but what I want you to be thinking about when it comes to digestion, what are the regular habits? I want you to be listening for yourself. What are the regular habits that you are putting your body, your spine, and nervous system through on a regular basis, knowingly or unknowingly, that's stressing your body and causing it not to function optimally? These bad habits are cumulative and add up over time. So let's dive into this one, chronic constipation. This could be all over the board. This could be a coming and going problem. This could be a persistent problem, and now maybe it's become your new norm. As I like to say, the engine is only as good as the exhaust. So if you're having fuel going into your body and it's sticking around in your gut, that is a problem. You can store up to 15 pounds of undigested waste in your colon. So one of the fastest ways to drop a few pounds is to right this ship, get things flowing. If not, this could be a source and a bed of unhealthy bacteria and viruses and microbes to feed off of. So then you wonder why your immune system is constantly stressed and why you're sick. And when that's happening, your inflammatory levels go up and your body is going to be in more pain. So this is a big problem for many. And so we want to know, where is this coming from? Now, how do you know? I mean, some people tell me, hey, doc, I have normal bowel movements. I go every 2 to 3 days. I say, whoa, 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 whoa. I don't know who told you that, Norm, but you should be going 1 to 2 times a day is normal. So chronic constipation is a neurological condition. What are many people doing throughout the day? Are people up and moving? Or are they sitting down, stuck to their cell phones, stuck to the computer, stuck to the sofa, stuck to the laptop, tablet? People are sitting, sedentary. And all that stress goes to the lower back and the neck. You see L1 and L2, and then L5 and S3, those are in the lower spine and in the sacrum and pelvic area. When these nerves get stressed, the movement within the bowels is going to slow down and things are going to get backed up. And then what do we end up doing? We continue to pile more food when our body hasn't even rid itself of the previous meals that we've already ate. Well, what does C1 and C3, what does the top of the neck have to do with this? It has a lot to do with it, because this is where your vagus nerve comes through your brain and through the skull, the magnum foramen, big hole, goes right down through, and it goes to every organ system, including your digestive organs. And when the vagus nerve is interfered with and interrupted, that parasympathetic system, the rest and digest, cannot function optimally, and things start to shut down. This is neurological in nature. Now, when it comes to, well, before I dive into that next, these next conditions, I just want to tell you about one of the first patients that I ever saw in practice. I remember this woman, mid-40s, came in to see me. She was a nurse, and so very physical job. So most of her day was on her feet, helping patients, but she had to do some paperwork, so it involved some sitting. Remember, she came to see me for low back pain, started adjusting her, and you know, her low back pain went away. I remember her first progress evaluation. She said, "Doc, you know, my low back pain, awesome. This is the best I've felt in years. But I have to tell you, something else changed. This is the first time I was able to have a normal bowel movement without a laxative in 30 years. She was blown away by it. She said, "I didn't bring it up in the beginning because it's a bit embarrassing, and I didn't know that chiropractic could help with constipation." This is when I told her, I said, "Good job, Dr. Yu, because my role as a chiropractor is to identify subluxations in your spine, provide a very specific corrective adjustment, get the pressure off the nerves so the nerves start flowing better. And when the nerves start communicating better throughout the body, digestion is going to improve." And for her, her constipation went away. Her body started functioning better. She started having normal bowel movements. So those are questions that I received also. Multiple people asked me, is it normal for digestion to improve after starting to get adjusted? And the answer is yes, absolutely. Now, irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's disease, celiac disease, these are all debilitating conditions. Debilitating. This has to do with your gut wall, and so your gut really starts with your lips and your mouth, and it goes down your throat, the esophagus, into the stomach, and through your intestinal tract, and then out the back end. And all throughout your digestive system, you have these microvilli that are there, and their job is to help break down the food, absorb the healthy nutrients, bring them into the cells, and keep out the bad stuff. That's your gut wall. So one of the best ways, since we're talking about it here, is one of the best ways to help your digestive system is to slow down when you're eating. Who here is they think that eating is a race? Anybody here? They think it's a sprint? You're wolfing down the food by just simply chewing your food longer and being slower and more deliberate. Not only is that chewing mechanism going to send signals to your brain to help you feel more full sooner, so you limit the intake of food, but it is also going to break down the food and make it easier on your digestive system to absorb the food that you're eating. So with these conditions, irritable bowel, Crohn's, celiac, this is a chemical stressor. Constipation is neurological. This is chemical. We're eating too many acidic foods. We're drinking too many acidic liquids. There's a great book out there. I could give you all books to read. If you want to know more about the pH in the body, the pH Miracle is a great place to go. But when your body is more acidic, it's going to raise the inflammatory levels within your body. In grains, they increase the acidity in your body. They increase the omega-6s, the pro-inflammatory fats within the body. These are low nutrient foods, these grains, and have a high glycemic index, what means it spikes your blood sugar. And if that happens over time, it's just going to burn out your pancreas, and your pancreas cannot produce enough insulin and it starts to lead to a condition called diabetes. What do you think diabetes, the amount of diabetes cases over the years have done? Has it gone up or up? Diabetes, and unfortunately, the sad state of affairs is this is affecting our young kids earlier and earlier. Between the ages of 2 and 19, it's not going to be a surprise, but they just released a study that childhood obesity, it was bad before and rising at an alarming rate, has shot through the roof. But these grains are toxic and they're irritant to your gut wall. I want you to consider that there's only 2 reasons why you'll have digestive issues or any issues within your body. And this has to do with toxicity and deficiency. Either you're toxic in something your body does not like or want, or you're deficient in a vital nutrient that your body requires for optimal health. So these toxin irritants are the phytates or anti-nutrients, the lectins, the gluten that show up in wheat, rye, barley. There's a great book out there, The Brain Grain and Wheat Belly. And it leads to a condition called leaky gut syndrome. So I had a lot of questions about gluten and what's the deal with gluten. Remember, when we talk about celiac, there's an allergy to the gluten. But everybody has a sensitivity to gluten. Some people are more or less tolerant. And just because you're consuming the gluten that shows up in the wheat and other sources, and you don't have celiac, doesn't mean that it's okay for you. That's a big distinction between an allergy and a sensitivity. It leads to a condition called leaky gut. Now, the phytates, I know you're going to be wondering, well, what is that? Okay, almonds. Doc, I thought almonds were great for me. Well, they could be, and it depends on what type of almonds that you get. But you got to see how your gut and your digestive system respond to it. Peanuts are sprayed with aflatoxin. It's an antifungal. I'd stay away from those. Brazilian nuts, lentils, soybeans, beans, wheat, corn. These are the ones that I'm going to recommend you stay away from. You're like, Doc, I don't have an issue with them. Well, here's the deal. You can do anything for 30 days. So I would suggest you pull this from your diet for 30 days and just see how your body responds. At the end of 30 days, I would pick one of these and then start to reintroduce it into your digestive system and see how your body responds. Now, for me, I'd stay away from the soy, the wheat, and the corn. I wouldn't be introducing the other stuff. The peanuts I'd stay away from. Lentils, it's kind of one of those, but I put yellow light. Just be cautious with that. It's not a hard no, like a red light, but it's not a green. But these anti-nutrients, the gluten protein, it causes leaky gut. Normally, the junctions of the cells of the gut lining, they're tight. But when your body's under constant inflammation, this could be from the food, it could be from drugs that we're taking, it could be stress in our life. These gap junctions start to open up. And you start having pathogens, food allergens start to go in between those cells and jump right into your bloodstream. So then it goes all throughout the whole body, and it can create an inflammatory response. One of the symptoms of a poor digestive system or digestive issues is that you're achy and everywhere in your body is sore. Your joints ache. There's multiple ones. It's not just one, but there's many. 8 causes of leaky gut. We're talking about chronic stress, the gluten and lectins, alcohol. Alcohol is extremely acidic. If you want to change your digestive system, pull the alcohol. Pull the alcohol out of the diet. Get rid of it. Try it for 30 days. See how you feel. But I know so many people are under stress, and it's just, you get home and you want to just take the edge off of it, off of the stress. So you're like, 1 glass of wine, 2 glasses of wines, and it might turn into a bottle. or the beer or the liquor. Oxalates, phytates, sugar, processed sugar. We just went through Halloween. Okay. Who has that Halloween candy still sticking around? Now we're into Thanksgiving, and then we'll be into the holiday season, Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's, Super Bowl, Valentine's Day, St. Patty's. See how it starts to add? Dairy, medications, immunocompromised. We learned a lot about immunocompromised because COVID virus is the most dangerous to the immunocompromised. So by strengthening your gut, 80% of your immune system lives in your gut. Strengthening your gut health increases the health of your immune system. So for my note takers, here's the do's and don'ts. I know many of you are like, all right, doc, get into what should I do? What should I avoid? Here's your start doing and stop doing list. The do is to start doing list. Non-starchy vegetables. Some fruit, I would do it in season. Fruit still has sugar, and some sugar from the fruit is okay. I do more of the fruit in the daytime and avoid it at night. But try to do seasonal fruit. This could be a little bit tough in the winter months. Meat, poultry, fish. So we want to do grass-fed beef, organic chicken, wild-caught fish. Now, if you're eating commercial meat, poultry, and fish that are grain-fed, you're absorbing those inflammatory chemicals from those sources into your diet. This is a big important distinction. You want range-fed eggs, natural fats like avocado, coconut, some nuts and seeds, and then water. Drink plenty of water. Now, I don't recommend drinking water during your meal. In fact, I wouldn't drink it during any of your meals. Okay. So when do you drink water? I would drink it 20 minutes prior to your meal, 20 minutes after. Allow your digestive enzymes to break down the food and move it through your digestive system. What you don't want to do are the refined carbohydrates. These are the cereals, the breads, the bagels, the English muffins, the crackers. I think I'm hitting a lot of them. Cereal grains, sweeteners. So sugar, even organic sugar I'd stay away with, that sugar in the raw, agave, and definitely all the artificial sweeteners. It's a neurotoxin. So the Splendas, the sweeten those, the equals, the bad vegetable oils. This is an important one. You know, the corn oil, canola, peanut, soybean, safflower, sunflower, margarine, shortening, or any blend. Stay away from those. Like if that was if you had a takeaway, I would put this slide as your top 3. If you just focused on this for the next 30 days, you're going to see a dramatic improvement in your digestive system and your health by avoiding these bad oils. It focuses on virgin coconut oil, avocado oil, macadamia nut oil, walnut oil, extra virgin olive oil, grass-fed ghee, butter, beef tallow. That's what you want to cook with right there. And you want to avoid those pro-inflammatory oils. Legumes, dairy products. I'd avoid dairy. Dairy is very acidic. Soda, juice, alcohol, all 3 of those are very acidic. I know somebody's watching this and they're wondering about coffee. What should you do about coffee? Coffee is acidic, but coffee does have health benefits. I put it in the yellow light category. The do's, the green light, the don'ts, the red light, coffee's in the middle. If you're under high stress and your digestive system's not great, I would actually pull coffee and the caffeine. Now, what about decaf? Decaf is chemically processed to extract the caffeine, so that could be harmful to your body. I wouldn't do decaf. If you're going to do coffee, black coffee only, no artificial sweeteners, stay away from adding dairy. And I'd go organic with the coffee. Because if it's not organic, the coffee beans can contain a lot of fungi that could be disruptive to your digestive system. So I would go and I would invest in organic, see how your digestive system responds. So I love Dr. Wolfson's Paleo Pyramid, the old food pyramid, throw that out. Vegetables are your foundation. And somebody is on this here watching, they're going to have the question, multiple people like, Doc, what do I eat? Like, you're telling me all these don'ts are like 95% of my current intake. Well, think progress, not perfection. Here's what you want to focus on, the base. 50% of your plate, veggies. So where's the plants? So think veggies. Then you want the protein, grass-fed beef, organic chicken, wild-caught fish, free-range eggs. You want that to be about 25%. Then the avocado, coconut, olives, the healthy fats, another 10 to 15%. Then the nuts and seeds, healthy fats, fruit in season, and you'll get a lot of great nutrients that are healthy for your digestive system through your spices. So we've been talking a lot about turmeric, but cayenne, those are all really great for your digestive system. Okay, another question I get, what about supplementation? There's a lot of supplements that I could be recommending. But I want to be very clear is that supplementation is not to cover up a deficient and toxic nutrition plan. Supplementation is to supplement a healthy nutritional plan, a healthy lifestyle. Probiotic bacteria, and we recommend innate choice, like having your yogurt with 1 or 2 strains of probiotic is not going to do the trick. Most of that probiotic will actually just go right through your digestive system. You want to have a variety of different strains of bacteria, healthy bacteria for your gut, and you want the ones that'll colonize in your colon and digestive system. We recommend innate choice. Probiotic bacteria are essential, meaning your body doesn't make it, essential requirement for proper immune system function, digestive function, and vitamin production. In other words, sufficiency of probiotic bacteria is essential for proper health and function of every cell, tissue, organ in your body. Irritable bowel, it's chemical. So when we analyze for subluxation, C1 controls the vagus nerve, and then T7, T11. It's that transition in the lower part of the ribs, and then the upper part of the lower back are typically where we find subluxations. Acid reflux and heartburn. Well, acid reflux, if you've experienced this could be, very painful. And I've had a lot of people go through, even say they go to the ER because they think that maybe they're having a heart or a cardiac event. But this is where the esophagus, which is it has a sphincter right before it goes into the stomach, the transition, that if that muscle loses tone, you're going to have acid going right back up into the esophagus. And the pH in the stomach is very low. And the whole idea of having a high pH is to break down your food. But if that gets into the esophagus not designed to handle that acid load. So that's where the acid reflux comes in. Acid reflux is, the cause is physical. So when we sit a lot, think about sitting a lot, forward head posture, 10-pound head, feeling 15 pounds to the body. It puts a lot of physical stress at T4 to T6. We've had a lot of patients throughout the years say, Doc, I came in, I had spinal pain. I was curious if my acid reflux would go away. Since I've been under regular chiropractic care, my acid reflux is gone. How about that? So this can have very much a physical component. Now, what you might not understand or see is that how microtrauma builds and puts regular stress in your spine day in and day out and over time. I think most people can identify macrotraumas saying that trauma to your spine could be caused by a car accident, a slip and fall, a sports injury, those type of things. Even being born can cause a macrotrauma in your spine. But the microtraumas, like the tech neck, starts to put abnormal stress on your pseudoarm or your spine, and it starts to interrupt and interfere with the messages being sent throughout the body. And wherever those nerves go, it could be the digestive system, digestive tract, affect your stomach, your small intestine, large intestine, liver, gallbladder, all these organs, it could disrupt the function. So how do you know if you have subluxation? Well, we do specific testing in our office through our health breakthrough experience to identify if you have subluxation. We go through a very thorough health history to understand your traumas leading up to this point, your day-to-day routines. But we have specific instrumentation that can measure the stress on your nervous system and how physical, nutritional, and chemical stress are impacting the function of the nerves throughout your body, including digestion. If you're currently a client, you know what I'm talking about. And as we do periodic follow-ups through your progress evaluations, we're able to check in on this on a deeper level. And then we also can identify subluxation through x-rays. So we can start to see the health of that nerve as it exits along the spine. Does it have a free and clear path to make sure that the proper nerve signals get to that part of the body so it functions properly? So the 3 steps to correct the cause. Number 1, I hope that you have identified personally some bad habits day in and day out through the foods that you're eating that can impact your digestive health. Your responsibility from this point on is pick one thing and then start to reduce, make progress with this. Don't focus on perfection, on breaking those bad habits and start to shift your lifestyle behaviors to produce better health outcomes. Hands down, when my clients follow the path that I laid out, not only are they getting better health outcomes, but they're happier in the process. Adjustments are holding better, they're in less pain, more energy, better function. Excuse me. Add specific exercises. Add specific behaviors to your routines to help strengthen your nervous system. And one of them, specific exercises, if we haven't given you any, let's give you some. Why is this important? Because you can structurally improve and rehab the small muscles right along the spine to give your spine better structure, to make sure that the nerves are communicating better to your digestive organs in between your visits. But we also have adding in the good. We have a lifestyle, a nutrition plan to focus on. We have supplementation. We talked about water, adding that in, all these things to help improve your digestive health. But how about your mental and emotional stress, and how can we improve that? Things like meditation and gratitude journal and reading inspiring books, getting out of a stress environment and opening up some healthy habits in that realm can also help too. And your chiropractic adjustments. Keep your chiropractic adjustments in rhythm. Make sure that you're rhythmic with your adjustments. That allows me and Dr. Travis to do our best work because your chiropractic adjustments build over time. Skipping or missing any of your appointments, that can disrupt the healing rhythms of the spine and the nervous system. There's also a dangerous belief that nothing can be done. When's the best time to take care of your health? What do you think? When's the best time to take care of your health? Well, I heard a saying said, the best time to plant the oak tree was 50 years ago. The second best time is today. Now you know. Show yourself some love and compassion, knowing that you did your best with the information that you had previously. Now you have a new opportunity to make some different changes, take some action steps to help improve your health outcomes. Okay. So I'm confident you found tremendous value. This is one of those webinars that you're probably going to want to rewatch, listen again. If you have a specific question that I didn't address, I'm going to pull up the chat box here and we're going to take a look at it. I want to thank you all for joining in, participating here. Yes, Nancy, agave. It is natural. This is a challenging one. It does spike the glucose index in the body. So although it's a more natural form of sugar, it still spikes. So what I would focus on, I would aim for stevia, because stevia is not going to have that spike on the glucose index. So that's what I would aim for. But great question on that. Because when we're starting to consume more natural products, you know, it might be non-GMO and organic and all natural. I love to tell you it's as simple as that. You're moving in the right direction. We're getting out of the mindset of the heavily processed type of foods that contain a lot of harmful ingredients and toxins in it. But we have to look deeper and make sure that it's actually healthy for us. So we want to limit that. Now, somebody might be asking, well, what about honey? I think raw, local, organic honey could be very powerful. So I would consider adding that, but I would still try to limit that as much as you can. All right, let's see what else is in the chat. What's some takeaways here? What do we? Okay, I love that, Julio. Thank you. I love this one. All right, I told you in the top 3, I told you about the oils. Get rid of those pro-inflammatory vegetable oils that I talked about, but I didn't tell you the other 2 things. Intermittent fasting or time restricted eating, like I have to tell you, this could change your life. This is going to change your life. Now, for men and our makeup and women, it's different. So what I suggest is for men, if you're going to do time restricted eating or intermittent fasting, pick an 8-hour window at the most and 12 hours. 12-hour window at the most, 8-hour as the least amount. You want to be in the 8 to 12 hours is the sweet spot. For women, I would have you aim and go more on the 10 to 14-hour window. You see, we are consuming way too much. Americans and the people around the world are consumers. And when we're stressed with modern life, I talked about alcohol being a stress reliever. Food can be a stress reliever. And I don't know about you, but for some reason, the pantry can be calling me like at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, and I start reaching for some unhealthy things. I'm not immune to this. So I have the same struggles as each and every one of you. So a lot of times this can be fixed when we get our body into a rhythm. And when you start making these changes, you're going to need about 5 to 7 days likely, because your body's going to go through withdrawal symptoms in this. So this fasting is going to help minimize the amount that's going into your body. So you want to consume all your food within that window. You're going to try to keep it as clean as possible and within that window. Yes. Yeah, and that's the thing, Julio, you got to find out what works best for you. This is trial and error. I love to tell you that I have the silver bullet for every individual, but you're an individual that has different needs, and sometimes there's stepping stones. So for somebody, 16 hours in limiting food intake might be the first step. Then you go to 14, then you go to 12, then you go to 10. Then you're finding 12 hours was actually working better. But then you could go to 10 and try 8, and then 8 seems to be the sweet spot. So that's it. You have to test it. And that's a good point. 3 days and beyond, it's excellent. So sometimes when you start making these changes, they're going to suck in the beginning. It just is what it is. And most people are going to avoid the pain so they don't go further. But if we know this going in, then that's normal, then we can push through a little bit of that to get on the other side of it. Does that make sense? Yeah, periodic cleanses. I love that, Joa. Absolutely. The fasting in and of itself could be a cleanse, the water fast. Intermittent fasting is just the smaller fasting broken down into more bite-sized chunks, no pun intended. Did I ever tell you why I don't eat bread, or I try to limit my bread? Because every time I eat bread, I tend to loaf around. All right, that was a really bad joke, but you understand what I'm saying here is that you feel tired, you feel exhausted, your energy levels plummet. It's like those big spikes. All right, let's see. Yes, now is the best time to take care. Yeah, that sluggish type feeling. Yeah, so like with our postural and acid reflux, you're exactly right. By stretching out and elongating a muscle there, right around where the esophagus goes through the diaphragm, to be able to hiatal hernia, stretching that out and stretching that fascia that gets so tight because of our poor posture, that can definitely help with symptoms of acid reflux. A lot of times when we're fixing those subluxations in the mid back, that's help a better posture, so that naturally is a consequence or an effect of that. Yeah, I love tea, Susan. A lot of herbal tea. There's herbal teas that can help with digestion. Tea is really, really good. It's a warm liquid that can help the movement within the digestive system. Even just taking, I love doing this in the morning, warming up water and squeezing some fresh lemon juice into it is extremely good for your digestive system. Taking a shot of apple cider vinegar is extremely good for your digestive system. Christine, I love my mushroom coffee. Absolutely. I learned about this and the benefits of specific mushrooms and the coffee. That can have a very positive impact on your digestive system. Okay, we covered the stevia and the honey from earlier. I see that. I love coconut oil. Fantastic. Yeah, Dr. T, about the coffee. It's not necessarily the coffee. It's about what's in that coffee and then the type of coffee. Organic is best. Black. Okay. Yeah, leaky gut is more and more common. All right, fantastic. I love all this. You guys are awesome. Engaging is how you get the best out of it. So, John, you bring up an interesting point with kombucha. So there's kombucha. I'm trying to think of some other fermented foods like cabbage, kimchi. You know, those are all fantastic. You know, watch the kombucha and any added sugar. Sometimes with that tea and the fermenting of the tea, they add so much sugar to make it more palatable. Just watch the amount of sugar that's in it, but kombucha is fantastic. Love kombucha. All right, fantastic. All right, you guys have been awesome. Thanks so much for tuning in. Next month is our wellness webinar topic is going to be how to stay healthy through the holidays. Yes, it's possible, because once we hit Christmas and New Year's, holiday heart syndrome, those are the 2 days out of the whole year of the highest rate of heart attack. So stress is real. Stress impacts your digestive system. You learned about it. Start implementing this information. It's only going to help you during the month of December and beyond. We're going to dive into that topic. If I don't see you before Thanksgiving, may you and your family have a blessed Thanksgiving. We are grateful to be your home for chiropractic and health and wellness. If you have a family member who's sitting at home and you're curious about them getting their spine and nervous system checked, we have a great opportunity in the month of November for them to come in and have their health breakthrough experience. So we could sit down with them, go through their health history. We could talk about their health and wellness goals. We could do a specific chiropractic evaluation where you're not going to get these tests done by any other provider. Only chiropractors are trained to diagnose and locate and correct subluxation, and that we could see if we can help them create better health outcomes now and then going into the new year. We'd love to see if we can help. Sometimes you're thinking of a friend, a coworker, just let us know. We love an opportunity. We do have a few new patient slots still available for the month of November, but there's just a few. So it's first come, first serve. So let us know so we can get them in and we can get them checked here. So Nancy, I did mention sourdough bread might be a little bit easier to digest, but you're exactly right. It has wheat and other grains. I bring that up as sometimes it's an easier transition of going from some of the other types of breads. My personal recommendation would be is to stay away from it because it does contain wheat in the grains. But if you're looking to transition, that may be, I don't even, okay, maybe we'll put that in the orange category, not yellow, not red, maybe red, kind of. I would try to stay away from that one if you can, but if you have to, absolutely have some sort of bread. You could go with the gluten-free, but just because something is gluten-free, like it's labeled and packaged as gluten-free, doesn't necessarily mean that it's healthy. So my personal opinion would be is I try to stick with the plants and the veggies on the plate with some healthy lean proteins and some healthy fats. Try to avoid the bread as best you can. All right. Okay, that wraps it up. And look, I did not get to everybody's question, I'm certain. And there's questions on here. I didn't address all the questions or try to do the best I can. So stay tuned in our private Facebook group. Stay tuned on social media posts, any other way that we can help answer those questions. We love and appreciate you. Have yourself a wonderful night. We'll see you soon. Thank you so much.